Okay, let's see. For an easy point, what did we talk about yesterday? But with word problems. Thank you, Seth. You have a point. So, we did use word problems. Were they pretty easy? They were. The hardest part is still just solving. So if you can set them up, that's pretty easy. You had 4 you're supposed to do. It's still on the board. It's page 5, 1, 3, 9, 12. One person's already shown me. When you get that done, show it to me. I'm not typing it in for this 9 weeks, but it is your first grade for the next 9 weeks. And I'm just going to keep adding more math because that's how math class works. So you would like to go ahead and get those word problems completely done so you could move on to bigger and brighter things. We don't have that much left in Chapter 3. I think what's left is fun. The hardest part that's left in Chapter 3 we're going to tackle today. So, before we talk about this math workshop, go ahead and have out your packet. We're going to do, it's page 13, bless you. We're going to do page 13. It's like halfway through. It's behind the word problems from yesterday. It's a page after that. It's on the back. It says solving systems and 3 variables at the top. That's what we're going to handle today. But before we go crazy and handle that, we didn't do a math workshop yesterday, and we didn't do it the day before, so we're behind. We've got to at least get a math workshop done today. So I need to know who is correct, Stephen or Jade. Well, you've been sitting there for 10 minutes now. Who's correct, Stephen or Jade? One of them made a mistake. Where did they make it?
I think that's right.
Jade is correct. And where did Stephen go wrong? Say it again. His issue is in this line. His issue is right here. So Jade is correct. But I need to know a better reason as to why Stephen is wrong. Jade is correct. And then because why. So again, if it says explain your reasoning, if you don't explain, then why are you getting points? Yes, here. And he can have 2 points for that. Let's get rid of his parentheses. So Stephen had the right side in parentheses, but they're just there. I'm going to pretend they're not there and get rid of them. Table 4, you're so sweet and quiet and not on my nerves. Table 6, add a point as well. And 2 and 3. Basically everyone who's not destructive. Okay, so, well, y'all can add an extra one too if you want to. It doesn't seem very fair, does it? Okay, so he had this. He subtracted B1 from both sides. And yet, when he did it, he made B1 jump into the numerator. Why would this B1 jump into that fraction? It wasn't a part of that fraction. Why would it suddenly jump into it? So that's his mistake, is suddenly putting B1 in the numerator in the fraction, which is what Paige was trying to say. She just couldn't get it out. She knew where it was. She just couldn't tell me why. Okay, so literally it wasn't that complicated. It is the formula for what kind of shape? Those who have had geometry. B1 plus B2, it needs a triangle. 1/2 base times height is a triangle, but this has B1 plus B2 because there were 2 different bases. Oh my goodness. Oh, my heart. It is a trapezoid. Thank you, Miss Brister.
No, that
was Natalie. Natalie can have a point. It had 2 different bases, and then we had a height. My God, I know you had a geometry teacher. Heck, I had like 4 of you in geometry, and you forgot that? This is what I'm talking about, breaking my heart. This right here. Literally breaking my heart.
Sorry, it has
Okay. It is somewhat okay, except bless your heart, on the actual ACT, they're probably not going to give you that formula, and they're probably going to ask what statement it is. Okay, so we are on page 13 of the notes today. It is a little harder than yesterday. The word problems were a little easy. And to be honest, if you still don't understand elimination and substitution, then you're going to hate this section. You're going to hate it. If you still don't understand elimination and substitution, you're going to hate it. Because, my God, we've made life more complicated. We used to have 2 lines, and now we have 3. We used to solve for just x and y. Now we're going to solve for x, y, and z. Now, they're actually a lot of fun, but they take a lot of space, a lot of time, and that's why there's lots of room on your paper for this. And I don't promise that it's always, always, always pretty numbers, because I know there are a couple decimals, but for the most part, again, we end up having pretty numbers. Okay, what kind of ordered answer have you been wanting lately? What kind of an answer have you wanted lately? Here's your hint. You have one in an ordered pair. And what comes first in an ordered pair, x or y? Okay, well, we still want x, we still want y, but we still need a third number now. We need x, y, and z. Yes, dear? It's in your giant packet on page 15. Yours is not in your giant packet? Okay, I have extra giant packet. When did we get these? Here, come get mine, and I'll find me another one next period. You just take mine. And tear out whatever you need or keep me, I don't care. Okay, so we got to solve for 3 things now, x, y, and z. Now, there are some harder problems. 1 and 2 are harder. Let's look at number 4, which is actually supposed to be your homework problem. Why is number 4 not as hard looking as 1, 2, and 3? What's different about number 4? Say, what's missing? Where's the z missing? An x is missing? There's a y missing in what line? The first line. There's a y missing in that top line. So that's going to make our life a little easier. So that's why that one's your homework problem, because it should be a little easier than the ones we're about to do. So we like it when there's a variable missing. But if you would rather write it out, you know if Gracie were going to learn pattern, and if Gracie wants to keep doing the pattern, she could always add in a y, but it would be a 0y. So if she wants to rewrite that top equation as this, so she can follow the pattern we're about to learn, I understand. But again, she's making life too complicated. It's not supposed to be that complicated. That equation's lovely because it already is solved for y. If we could just get rid of the other y's, our life would be made, and we would only have to worry about x and z. Okay, let's start with number 1, and let's talk about what we're going to do, and then we'll actually do it. Okay, how many times do we have to use elimination when we had 2 equations? You've been using elimination twice? I thought you just killed off one variable, killed off the x's, and you were like, you got a value for y, and then you plugged it back in for x. I thought we technically only killed off somebody once. So, here, take my other packet.
No, that's 34. Like, mine was separated. I had to do this before.
I don't know. I might not have done them in the right order. Who knows?
It's on the back of this sheet.
It's on the back of the sheet that says Algebra 2, Classwork, System of Equations. Oh, you showed it to me. It was page 11. Addison, I know why. You tore it out to show me your page 11. It's on the back of the page 11 that you just showed me. That's why. If you tore out your page 11 to show it to me, it's on the back of that. The one that was just the study I grade. Bless you, Addison. Okay, thank you, dear. Okay, so let's talk about this. So we're actually going to use elimination twice. There are 3 equations we're going to use elimination twice. We're going to attack a variable. Let's say we could just hate on x, and then we're going to get rid of x out of 2 equations and then x out of 2 other equations using elimination. which that makes no sense, so let's actually see it in action. Okay, I'm going to pick on x. When I look at this problem, I see the 5 and the 3, they're not very similar. I see the 2 and the negative 3 with the y, they're not very similar. The easiest person to kill off is going to be x. Table 1, take a point away. The easiest one to kill off is going to be x. Okay, so if I want to use elimination, I'm going to number the equations. 1, 2, 3. If I want to use elimination with equation 1 and equation 2, what number do I need to multiply by on equation 1?
Multiply by 2.
Multiply it by what, Paige? Negative 2. So I'm going to multiply this top equation by negative 2. And I'm going to write it over here. It is negative 2x minus 4y minus 2z equals negative 20. You've got to make sure, again, you distribute, because Paige's whole day is going to be ruined if she messes up that top line, and then it's ruined from then on out. Negative 2x minus 4y minus 2z, negative 20. So we rewrote equation 1 after we multiplied it by negative 2. Equation 2, we're not going to change anything with him. He's still going to be 2x minus y plus 3z equals negative 5. So I'm using equation 1 and 2, and I'm going to do elimination. When I do elimination, the x's die off. How many y's do I have? 2.
2, no,
Negative what?
8.
4 minus 1.
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Now what? Plus what?
That's a point.
No. Plus what? Plus 1z, and then equals what? Negative what? 25. Lord Jesus, help us today. Okay. Okay. So we used elimination with equation 1 and 2. We made the x's die off, and now we only have y's and z's. Okay, we're going to do elimination again. But this time, instead of using 1 and 2, I'm going to use 1 and 3. And you can pick any combo you want, but let's not lie. It would be stupid to choose 1 and 2 again. You already used 1 and 2. You either got to do 2 and 3 or 1 and 3. So let's see. Equation 1, I'm going to use the one that we had already changed and multiply by negative 2. So it's still negative 2x minus 4y, bless you, minus 2z equals negative 20. I'm still using equation 1. He's still multiplied by negative 2. I'm still using equation 1, but I'm leaving it multiplied by negative 2 because I'm smart. I'm going to have a negative 2x and a positive 2x. Again, the x's are going to die. Okay, but now I've got to write down equation 3. Equation 3, I'm not changing him at all. It's 2x minus 3y minus 5z equals 27. And Miss Compton, why did you do that? Why did you choose what you chose? Because I'm smart. And if I killed off x with our first elimination, then I need to kill off x again. We need the x's to die. And do the x's die? Yes, we have a negative 2x and a positive 2x. The x's die. What do we have after that?
We have
Negative 7y, then what? Now what?
negative 7.
Negative 7z, and then what for the last one? 7. Because it's 27 minus 20, we get just 7. Okay, now, there are a lot of 7s, it's strange. Now, we have two equations. You and I made them using elimination. And both of them have y's and z's. So what's really cool is we're going to get to freaking eliminate again. So if you would like to, my one suggestion, if you're lost so far, my one suggestion would be to number your equations. The way I'm keeping track of, I multiplied 1 and 2. I dealt with 1 and 3. And so if you want to call this equation 4 and call this equation 5, I would understand, so you could keep track of them. But if that's just too much going on for you, I understand that too. It's just a thought. That's how I always did it on my paper, to keep track of which equation am I dealing with now. Okay, what's cool about 4 and 5 is they only have y's and z's. They only have y's and z's. So now we're going to use elimination with just 4 and 5. And we're going to try to kill off either the y or the z. Which variable would be easier to kill off? Z. If we multiply that top line by what? We're going to multiply this one.
7.
No, yeah, but she, that was great. So we're still going to give you a point for that. So if we take this line and we multiply by 7, and I'm going to write it over here, so let me draw an arrow. I'm going to use elimination with 4 and 5. So I'm going to use elimination with 4 and 5. Okay, I'm going to rewrite 5 just as he is. He's still negative 7y minus 7z equals 7. He's staying exactly the same. But on 4, I'm going to multiply by 7. So 7 times negative 5, I get negative 35. 7 times z, I get positive 7z. 7 times negative 25, I get some number I need. Seven times negative 25? Is it 175?
175.
Negative 175. Okay. Perfect. Okay, again, I get to use elimination I love elimination. I get to use it for the 3rd time, and I'm really excited. The z's die. I have negative 35 minus 7 is negative 42. So I have negative 42y equals negative 175 plus 7 is negative 168? No. 160 something. Miss Compton and the easy math is bad.
175 minus 7?
Yeah.
180.
Negative.
No, negative. That's not like 168, is it?
Is it 168? Yeah, that's right. It's bad when you start questioning your own math. 6 plus 8 is 168. Yeah, it's negative 168.
Yeah, because
It is.
positive.
Okay, and then I know I'm completely happy with everything because when I divide by negative 42 on both sides, I get y equals what number? 4. And back to, I got a pretty whole number, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And you're like, oh my God, Miss Compton, we just did elimination 3 freaking times to just get y. Well, from here on out, it's easy. We're going to plug it back in one of our equations that just has a y or a z. We're going to get z. And then we go back to one of our beginning equations, plug back in y and z, and we'll get out x. So from here on out, it's easy. This was the hard part. Okay, so we have y. We need to find out what z is. Ms. Compton, why are you choosing z over x? Because you and I had these easier equations that just involved y and z. Okay, I'm going to pick the top one. I don't really have a reason. I'm just picking it for picking it. Say what, dear?
Still not over.
No, we have one answer. We need a triple answer. We got one of the 3. Okay, so I'm going to pick this equation. We used to have negative 5y plus z equals negative 25. I just found out that y is really 4. I just found out that y is really 4. So I'm using, if you need to write it, I'm using equation 4 before we multiplied it. Y is really 4, so I substituted in 4. So I've got negative 20 plus z equals negative 25. When I add 20 to both sides, I get z equals negative 5. Where did I get what from? I stole equation 4 when it used to be negative 5y plus z equals, oh, right here? This 5? I stole it from equation, it was exactly equation 4 before we multiplied him. Okay, so I got a number for z. So Natalie's asking, are we done? Well, technically not yet. We still got to find x. So right now I've got 4, I've got negative 5. I've still got to find x. So I can plug it back into any of my original equations, 1, 2, or 3. 1 looks the easiest. He's got the least going on. So equation 1, it used to be x plus 2y plus z equals 10. But lo and behold, we just found out that x is, we don't know x. We do know y is 4. And we know z is negative 5. So we've got x plus 8 minus 5 equals 10. So x plus 3 equals 10. So x equals 7. I did 2 times 4, I got 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. I subtracted 3 from both sides, and I got 7. So my answer is technically 7, 4, negative 5. Now, Kelsey has some options. I understand that Kelsey just went through a lot of stuff to get this answer. So she can just have, you're about to lose another point. I'm going to take another point away. X, Y, and Z. I put them in a box. If Kelsey has each thing boxed in on her paper, I'm not going to be mad if she doesn't have this listed at the top. But it does make my life easier to grade. Either you need to be a boxer or you need to put it somewhere near the top for me to see. Otherwise, I spend all day trying to figure out what people did. Yes, ma'am, you have a question. Say yes. No. This is me making it as easy as I can. Okay, so we get to do elimination 3 times. We then get to, once we finally get an answer, we have to plug it back in and get another answer, to plug it back in and finally get the third answer. It takes a lot of time. That's why we don't have that many problems today. Okay, let's go to number 2, and it is actually going to be faster now that we got this system going on. Okay, so number 2, I'm thinking about what variable to handle, and I've already decided which variable should I try to kill off.
Z.
Gracie, get another point. Okay, Z would be the easiest to kill off because 2 of them already have 2's in front. 2 of them already have 2's in front. This one only has a 1, so if I multiply this line by 2, it'll be a negative 2Z. So that's genius of her. So again, I've got equations 1, 2, and 3. I'm thinking I want to do elimination with 1 and 2. And so I'm going to write the 1 again. 1 was 5x plus 3y plus 2z equals 2. But 2, I've multiplied by 2. Seth, you think I don't hear you, and I do. 4x plus 2y minus 2z equals 10. So again, I've multiplied that second equation by 2. And now, like Natalie's saying, the z's die. I have 9y plus 9x, Ms. Compton, plus 5y equals 12. Okay, and that was smart of us. And now I'm going to do 2 and 3. And people get real dumb about this point because they try to eliminate a different variable. If you've already eliminated z, you need to stick to it and kill off z again. So with 2 and 3, we already did equation 2 multiplied by 2 was 4x plus 2y minus 2z equals 10. That's equation 2. It's just been modified. Equation 3 is x plus 4y plus 2z equals 16. And then the z's die. And I get 5x plus 6y equals 26. And you're like, Ms. Compton, you're still not at an answer. Yeah, but I'm happy because my new equations, the ones that I'm going to call 4 and 5, they don't have z's. They only have x's and y's. So the next time I do elimination, it's going to be really easy. I've either got to kill off the x's or I've got to kill off the y's. But what stinks on this one is there's not an easy number to kill off, is there? Okay, so we've got to do elimination with 4 and 5. But what stinks is it's not like I can multiply this line by 2 and end up getting a negative 9x. So I'm going to just have to decide. Gracie, you've been on it today. You want to kill off x or y? It doesn't. It's going to be just as hard either way. Okay, if we kill off y, I'm going to multiply this line by 6, so I'll end up with a 30y. I'm going to multiply this line by negative 5, so I'll end up with a negative 30y. So I have to multiply both equations, or else no one would die. Okay, 9 times 6. Yeah, so I'm thinking it through that I want to have a positive 30y and a negative 30y. That way the y's will die. There wasn't a nice pretty number to only multiply one by. It states, I know. Okay, so 6 times 9 is 54. 54x plus 6 times 5 is 30. 30y equals 6 times 12 is 72. So that's equation 4 after I've multiplied them out. Equation 5. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25x. Negative 5 times 6, negative 30y. Negative 5 times 26. I don't know that. I need someone with a calculator. Okay, but then I'm happy because the y's die. Exactly. And then 54 minus 25 is 29x equals, what's negative 130 plus 72? Negative 58, ma'am? Okay, and then I'm super excited because I know 50, if I divide both sides by 29, I already know in my head that ends up being negative 2. I just know that one. So we did all this work. Yay, we did elimination 3 times. Oh my goodness, we only got one variable. So we've got negative 2, but we still need 2 more numbers. So yeah, we got x is negative 2. We still need y and z. What equation should I plug into next? 4 or 5. Either one's great. Let's go with 5. She said 5, so I'm going to plug in 5. Do you have to plug in 5? No, you could also plug in 4. So it used to be 5x plus 6y equals 26. But I just found out that x is really negative 2. So I get negative 10 plus 6y equals 26. 6 is 36. And so I end up getting y equals 6. So I've got my x, it's negative 2. I've got my y, it's 6. I've still got to get my z.
4.
Which equation should we plug into?
4.
Does 4 have a z?
Oh no.
Up or down? Up. Down. I would plug it into equation 2. Why 2? Why not 1 or 3? It doesn't have a lot going on. So it used to be 2x plus y minus z equals 5. We're going to do 2 times negative 2 plus y is 6 minus z equals 5. Oh, goodness. I plugged in my negative 2. I plugged in my 6. I've got minus 4 plus 6 minus z equals 5. 6 minus 4 is 2. So I've got 2 minus z equals 5. I get negative z equals 3. So what does that mean z equals? Z equals negative 3. You're going to have to multiply. So your answer is technically, and I should have boxed in this one too, negative 2, 6, negative 3. Again, if Natalie's trying to make my life easier for me to grade, then she's either boxed in the x, y, and z, or she's put her answer all in the triple order pairs. I don't know how you're not going to show a lot of work on these. There's no way to avoid it. If Mia makes a mistake, I follow her work from the mistake. I only count off for that mistake, and I keep following. So it is the negative 3. So as long as you're trying, and I see you going through the whole process, even if Mia gets x equals 2.5, and she knows she wasn't supposed to get a decimal, but she commits to it and keeps going and finds a value for y and a value for z, I'm going to give her most of her points. But what happens is people get frustrated. They stop after they get the x being a decimal. They never plug in for the other values and keep going. It's hard for me to get points when you didn't finish all the math. Okay, I was going to make your homework number 4, but instead I'm going to change it to number 3. Let's change it to number 3. That is the only thing I need you to do is to try number 3. If you're not done with your 3-1 test, I'm going to let you work on that now. I swear we're going to spend another day on this tomorrow. I just need you to try it once and see if you can follow the pattern. No, you do not have to do number 4 too. You only have to do number 3 for now. Let me change that number.